SLTV Channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV Channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello there, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning on Voice of the People Television. And this is the morning show, TM as we call it. Welcome to Morning Show. Now, we have lined up very interesting trending stories for your listening pleasure. Some of the stories will annoy you, some of the stories will make you happy, but I just urge you, join us as we walk around Nigeria to bring you very interesting and trending stories. First on the show this morning, President Tinubu nominates ex-CDS Christopher Musa as Defense Minister, convenes emergency security meeting with service chiefs. And when we move away from that, call your minister to order. Bode George reports Wike to Tinubu as Wike's PDP faction appoints new Southeast Caretaker Committee amid deepening party crisis. And Akpabio Goje clash during plenary over accusations of unparliamentary conduct. Now, these are the major topics of discussions, but we also have other interesting trending stories that will weigh in on in the course of the show. Welcome as we get into it. Fina, good morning.
Good morning, Chikuma. Good to have you.
Good to see you. The lady in red.
I love the tie.
Thank you.
I love the tie.
I'm blushing already.
Oh, stop it. I like it. But all the same, you can be part of this family. Very simple thing. It's not that difficult. All you have to do is to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you've not done that. At YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV. Across all the social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. We also have a website where you can go in for fresh and trending news. And the website is www.vop.ng. There you have interesting stories. And talking about other trending stories that made it to our table today, the Akwa Ibom State Police Command has arrested a man identified as David Effiong, an indigene of the state, for allegedly causing a public disturbance while dressed in full masquerade regalia. Despite an existing ban on masquerade activities, Effiong was apprehended after residents reported that he was creating a nuisance and allegedly destroying property within the community on Tuesday. The arrest comes amid renewed enforcement of the state government's directive prohibiting all public masquerade displays in the state. Confirming the incident, Commissioner of Police CP Baba Azari stated that Effiong will be charged in court. Authorities added that investigations into Effiong's activities are ongoing and he will be arraigned in court upon completion of the probe. Meanwhile, here in Lagos will broadcast from the Lagos State government on Tuesday yesterday, apprehended 20 individuals for street begging during an enforcement sweep across the Ikosi, Ketu, and Mile 12 corridors. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, say the exercise reflects the administration's resolve to maintain orderliness in public spaces and ensure they are used in a safe and responsible manner. He explained that officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, as a kick against indiscipline, carried out the operation around Ketu, Mile 12, Ikosi Road, and the 7-Up axis, targeting activities that obstruct movement and pose environmental risk. He further noted that those arrested have been handed over to the appropriation authorities for profiling, while social welfare interventions are set to follow when necessary. Interesting one. I would like to say that from Lagos, it's not the first time we're seeing beggars being apprehended. Some time ago, after they were arrested, some of them were being sent back to their state of origin, and then some also were kept back. And I could recall then there was this rift cause between the former governor of Anambra State and the former governor of Lagos State over why would you bring in people and dump in my state? Do you even know where they are from and all that? But anyway, I'm talking about them trying to clean up and also make sure that they don't bring in or that people who cause one or two cannot just be there. I don't know, but I perceive this because there was a book I think we read in secondary school, Beggar Strike. I can't recall on top of my head. I used to forget the writer of that, the author of that book, Beggar Strike. In Abuja, it happened too. The minister of FCT also picked some beggars and then arrested them. We don't really know what happened after that. But the question we need to ask is this. I believe that if the economy is pretty good, although we know that some people's tradition, custom, and norm allow them to go out to beg and all that. We saw that player. But at this particular time, I believe if the economy is good and the situation,
it's not about economy.
Nobody want to go on the street begging. I don't think
it's not about economy.
It's about what then more?
Some people see it as a profession. Do you know that?
Corporate beggars.
Well, that's the fancy name.
We have corporate beggars.
They see it as so because they make a lot of money from it. Now, no matter how well the economy is, no matter how much income or if you try to engage them, because they are lazy and they want to make quick money and they probably don't have the heart to outrightly steal, they go into begging. That's for some people. So it's not about the economy, really. Okay.
Now, what about the masquerade that was arrested?
Oh, the masquerade. You see, personally, I think I like the fact that the masquerade was arrested. Because if you see what these masquerades do, even in Lagos, you come out when there is no particular festival. It's not as if there's a festival where we need a masquerade. You come out and you start to flog people. There are places in Lagos you would go to and you walk around in the marketplaces. They flog you. They ask you to give them money. If you don't give them, they flog you. And, because of the mentality that, okay, these are representing some gods, you would not want to react.
When I saw them, like, oh, the gods are now behind bars, because that is what it looks like.
The gods.
No, those things are not the gods. They represent the gods. They are not the gods. Or they seem to represent the gods.
I'm happy to see that this god have a name. This particular mini god.
No, that is the name behind the god.
Oh, okay.
The name behind the god. As a matter of fact, let me start from the beggar thing. Like I understand the drift both of you are trying are taking to. It's a cultural thing. Like Fina said, it's a cultural thing. Alms giving, and when you tie alms giving to alms begging, it balances. In some traditions, it's customary, it's cultural for people to go out begging. And it's in parts of the north. Let's be very frank. Let's be very realistic about it. It's in parts of the north. And that is what that culture, has used to put the people down for a very long time. And I think what the government is trying to do is, look, we need to have a reversal, of trend and roles. So, and if you want to beg, if your culture allows it for you to go to the streets and beg, please don't come to Lagos and practice that culture, because it is not acceptable here. And I think it's also trying to deepen the federal system that we have, where states, are at liberty to make laws for themselves in their states. We also know that there are federal laws, but there are also state laws. And if you contravene the state law, what happens? You pay for you bear the consequences. Now, talking about the masquerade, you see that is what happens when we don't have consequences for actions. Like Moses said, why will you come out and you camouflage yourself? Because I just call it camouflage. You camouflage yourself and you are flogging people. For what reason? And you say that the culture allows it. Which culture allows it? It might have been in your ancient days, in your place and all of that, where people, when they see masquerade, we used to make fun of it as kids. When we see masquerades, we run and they start chasing us and all of that. The times have passed, things change. You don't come to a metropole, like place like Uyo and all of that, and you are flogging people and you are wearing masquerade, harassing people. In ordinary times, it's not acceptable. I like the fact that the masquerade was arrested.
But
I should put a stop to that.
I think there's more to the story, because the governor came up to give a directive to say he's placing a ban on all masquerade.
And it was flouted.
And this particular young man.
That is the thing, because some people believe that, look, there are no consequences for actions. After all, the governor is somewhere in New York, and how will he even know that I'm flying a masquerade around and all of that? Now the long hands of the law caught up with him, and he's going to pay for it. So, and beyond that, in other places, the bigger problem we have is that we have come to a situation where Nigerians believe that, is it not, we'll take you to the police. And when I get to the police, I'll find my way.
You see that take me to the police
Yes.
thing? It's like you said, it's we have become, I'm looking for the right word now, but I engaged an artisan recently. In fact, yesterday, my wife had to take him to the police for a job paid for. All right, paid for. The balance was 20,000, and he says if you don't give him the balance, he will not deliver on the job because he has spent all the money. Other people are owing him. And I asked him, okay, if other people are owing you, am I owing you? He said no, but he'll collect the complete money. I said, where is that done? And then he was supposed to deliver last week.
Okay.
And he didn't all the way until my wife had to take him to the police. I was madam, I tell you, say, you go spend more money if you come here, you go spend more money, now you don't spend money. If to say you just give him that money, I for just do it. Like, what kind of mentality is that?
That is it, no consequences. And you be sure that the young man will come out of the police net. He will come out.
I'm like, what kind of mentality is that?
So, the thing there is...
And the police will spin around it and say, oh, well, since you have come, and by the time they give you paper to fill a form, you buy the form.
Yeah, you
complain. You pay for the complaint form. I took somebody to, oh my God, it's not a very rosy,
pleasant story.
It's not a pleasant story. But these things happen. So when people have lost faith, in institutions of government, that is what you get. A governor that with his pen has the power over life and death. The governor can sign. He signs death penalties. And he gives an order, and you flout it.
The president gave an order.
And it was flouted.
We are contemplating who and who should abide by
No, we are being asked to track it.
Exactly.
To track compliance.
Yes.
To track compliance. So what does that tell you? It tells you that
people,
institutions of government, Nigerians have lost hope. And it speaks to legitimacy. If you feel that an institution is not legitimate enough to supervise or superintend over your actions, what does that tell you? It tells you that, look, a lot of people, the thing keeps deepening, every other time. And it's not only in every other institution. People don't go to public hospitals now because they feel that if you go there, you're simply going to waste your time. At the end of the day, prescriptions are made. When those prescriptions are made, you go to the pharmacy. Most times, 80% of the time, you don't find those drugs. So what do? You still come out to the private. So people who have money, or average people, middle class people, they prefer, let me just walk into a private hospital and take care of myself. Security, education, the same thing. A lot more people attend private schools than public schools these days. So what does that tell you? Institutions of government have lost legitimacy. There's a high level of mistrust and distrust that people don't even patronize them again. And it's quite unfortunate. And until we find a way, to reverse this trend, it is just starting. And my worry is again that, look, the younger generation don't even seem to care. They don't care. If you look at analytics, what people watch and what they see, you discover that the people that watch politics more are people from 35, 45, 56, 60 and above. The younger generation, what do they watch? They watch skits about relationships, porn, naked people and all of that. And it's deeply troubling. Because if we are traveling in that direction, honestly, in the next 20, 30 years, I don't know where we'll be. So we need to make an urgent reversal, an urgent turn. Otherwise, I pity the next generation.
I actually pity the next generation of Nigerians. I do, because we see a situation whereby the age for willingness to test for HIV has come down from 18 to about 14 now. And we also, statistics now shows that a lot of young people in Nigeria between the ages of 14 and 24 are exposed to HIV and AIDS. Okay. A lot of them are exposed to HIV and AIDS. A lot of them are exposed to drugs. So there's a high rate of drug abuse amongst the young people in Nigeria. I mean, these are the future. This is the powerhouse of the nation, really, the life wire, as they say. And they are all drifting off, engaged in the different types of drugs, colos and the rest of them. A lot of young people. If you pick out 10 young people within that bracket, and I'm talking 15, between 15 and 29, you'll find out that out of that 10, 7 of them are abusing one substance or the other. It's alarming. And and the issue of the social media, which now gives the impression that you can make quick money if you provide content, has also worsened the situation, because a lot more people know that people will be attracted to nudity.
Yes.
So they go all out and they start exposing themselves on social media, forgetting that social media doesn't forget.
It doesn't forget. Okay,
those things stay there. You become an adult later, if God gives you long life and the rest, and those things will come up. Maybe somewhere along the line, you now decide to be serious with your life and you want to contest for a political position, and then they bring up some video of you shaking Guinea on, it becomes a problem. I think we should. It goes back to the NOA.
And value reorientation. Yes. That is what we need urgently. But unfortunately, the leadership is not offering that, that promise.
I'm happy you went back again to the leadership. If we have everything well the way it should be, I don't think we'll have youths who will devote their time to be displaying their need and all that. It's because they've lost interest. I after going to school for 4 years or 5 years, maybe with ASU strike and all that, you extend 5 years, go to 6 or 7 years, and then you're out, and there's nothing like job opportunity. What the will you do?
You create jobs.
Or maybe if you've been, I think they're creating it already themselves.
No, that's not the kind of
if
job.
that is how they want to go about it.
Create jobs.
Government should look into it, the ordinances of them.
Oh well, let's go to another story now. Governor Umar Bago of Niger State and Governor Umar Eno of Akwa Ibom State have been blacklisted by the International Press Institute, Nigeria, as the worst offenders of media repression in the country. I saw this one coming. The IPI also included the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, in the blacklist for continued police harassment and attacks on journalists. We see dragging Matawalle. I think he was in court yesterday. Yes, he would be in court.
He was in court.
He was in court yesterday. Now, this was made known on yesterday, during the IPI annual conference in Abuja, attended by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Now, at that conference, IPI President Musikilu Mojid said the governors and the police chief have consistently prevented journalists from performing their legitimate responsibilities. Now, he said Mohammed Umar Bago, Niger Governor, Umar Eno, Governor of Akwa Ibom, and the IG of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, are hereby written in the book of infamy. Mojid added that Egbetokun was added for failing to uphold his constitutional duties and allowing systemic media oppression. Well. In August 2025, Governor Umar Bago ordered the closure of Badegi FM. Remember that story? A privately owned radio station in Mina, Niger State, accusing it of inciting violence. The station was sealed by security agents, prompting condemnation from rights organizations such as Amnesty International and the Nigerian Bar Association, which described the move as unlawful and an attack on independent journalism.
government? Are you still
No, I
journalists?
think,
Yes, we
sure
are. Yes, we are.
We are?
well, that's what we are supposed to be, but I don't know if we are. Maybe we
still
are
are.
we are the seventh now. We have other people that, apart from the judiciary, we have another judiciary, JPC, that have become the fifth realm and all of that.
Don't do that this
It's
morning.
deeply troubling. We might try to make light of it here on the lighter note, but it is deeply troubling because journalism and journalists have come under savage assault recently by the Nigeria. It's a global thing, but we are trying to concentrate on what goes on here in Nigeria. There is press repression. David Hundeyin, as we speak, is still on the run. That Diata, as we speak, nobody knows his whereabouts. Fisai Oshaumbo has been in and out of detention. Omo Eleshowore, journalists, Sahara reporters is under, I mean, most like the government is even stalking him.
Currently accused of insulting the number one man.
Number one man
currently,
and all of that. So
meanwhile, Donald Trump is constantly attacked
by people because that is the price of democracy. People feel free to express themselves. And if you don't like it, if you think that the person has said something that is negative, contest it. Contestation, and what goes around is quite disturbing. And when democracy starts to falter, when democracy unravels at the end, it starts like this. The first thing they do is to clamp down on the press, to ensure that people don't get accurate information about what is going on. I've been trying to wrap my head around the fact that a governor will come and say, look, through an emir, don't put this government in bad light by reporting terrorist attacks, by reporting criminality. What does that tell you? It tells you that the government itself is trying to spin their own infractions negatively. And it doesn't work.
I understand the role of responsibility in media reporting. There are certain things that that might incite the public, and you want to, play down on it. But it's not like you will not report what is happening. If it is happening, you find a way to report it without inciting or instilling fear in the people. So that's responsible, a responsible way.
Yes, it's an ongoing debate. Even in journalism school, we had this debate. What is responsible and responsible journalism? How do you report that 10 people were killed, during an ambush? How do you report the fact that, look, Nigerian soldiers were killed? How do you report it to make it become responsible without having to tell a lie about it? I mean, it's an ongoing, we never agreed while we were in school. And it's like now, it's an ongoing debate. Responsible journalism. Now, the idea is that you put it out there and allow, don't do Kaizen on it, don't add icing on the cake. Don't ice the cake. Cake is already sweet. So if 10 people were killed, probably in an ambush, don't go to say that probably they were overpowered because they don't have ammunition and all of that. Allow the military authorities to say all of that. But put it out there. Will that amount to inciting people?
But in some cases, they will tell you, don't say something like that. Don't push it out there.
They will also tell you that
you could play down on the numbers.
Would they also tell you that for society to make progress, when you see something, say something.
Is it okay to play down on the numbers in cases like that?
That would be lying.
No. You're saying in an instance where the military were attacked, and then they tried, they were not able to repel the bandits. You could say there was a confrontation between the military and the bandits, and you play down on the fact that they failed to properly repel them, and then we lost.
So, as journalists, what is our secret? Our facts are secret. Facts are secret. So it's neither here nor there. But I understand the angle. Moses is don't do anything to incite people. But people should also not do something that journalists will have to say that will amount to inciting the public and all of that. But all said, I think the issue is that look, we need a government. This free space, is gradually shrinking. It shrinks every other day. But I think we need an expansion. We have the Cybercrime Act and all of that, where there are certain things here. More like we are going back to the days of Decrees 4 and 5, where journalists were asked to get approval from Ministry of Information before they put out facts about government and all of that.
It's out there already in Niger State, wherever you have to submit your speech.
No, I'm talking about the federal law, the Cyber Crime Act and all of that. It doesn't help democracy because our democracy after 26 years, when I say our democracy is still nascent or fledgling, people say no, it shouldn't be at this time. But that is what it is for me. That's what it is. We are still, we are still evolving as a people.
Oh, well, let's take a minute now. Let's run to the papers. Okay, well, maybe more than a minute. Let's run to the papers. Let's look at headlines from the dailies. I have the Daily Independent right in front of me. And the window headlines here. Senate considers single toll-free emergency number nationwide. That's what it should be. Experts link security, because, I mean, if you're in Lagos, I think Lagos is 112. Yeah. And then another state, you're wondering which one to use. Well, experts link security emergency to future food abundance. And then the big story. We are reclaiming ungoverned spaces using veterans, Tinubu. Okay. Meat service chiefs demands greater efficiency from them. Hails bravery of military in confronting terrorism, banditry. Asks Nigerians to reject the divisive rhetoric. Promotes tolerance. Nominates General Christopher Musa as new Minister of Defense. We'll talk more about this during paper review. Okay. Well, FG taking action capable of disintegrating Nigeria, Body George. Dictatorship impossible in Nigeria due to press vigilance, says Shetima. PDP issues certificate of expulsion to Wike, Fayose, Anyanwu, others. Adebayo, Adedamola wins Osun PDP global primary. Personal pension plan fails to deliver expected returns after 6 years. Gunmen attack Abia governor's advanced team in Imo. Okay. Well, those are the headlines on the cover page of Daily Independent newspaper.
And the Punch newspaper is up next, beside the masthead. PDP crisis. Makinde block issues Wike orders expulsion certificate. The story is on page 3 of the Punch newspaper, and the banner headline reads that U.S. lawmakers, Nigerian reps hold fresh session over rising insecurity. Right after that story, U.S. Congress committee holds joint session. Nigerian reps to discuss rising insecurity. Tinubu meets service chiefs. A delegation, Osun PDP primary as Adebayo wins ticket. FG contractors launch fresh protest over 500 billion naira debt. Yotard, local flights break 300,000 naira mark. Marital dispute. Edo Assembly summons to Baba's wife. Manpower shortfall may delay NSCDC's VIP protection rollout. Those are the stories on the cover page of the Punch newspaper. And the major pictorial there is, the light up of Marina Lagos from the UBA group.
Now, let's quickly run to the Nigerian Tribune with the window headlines. ASU, that's Academic Staff Union of Universities. Federal government reached agreement on 40% pay rise, autonomy, and funding. The Nigerian Tribune. Osun, Adeleke's new party to be known before December 13. Adebayo emerges PDP candidate. This is kind of interesting. Adebayo's new party to be known. Will it be APC? Will it be another party, LP, AA, or what?
Oh, well, ADC.
ADC, maybe, just maybe. U.S. lawmakers meet on escalating violence in Nigeria. Now, the banner headline. Reps begin debate on state policing. Other constitution review bills today. To vote on bills next Tuesday, Wednesday, before transmission to state assemblies. Drama as Goje falls on parliamentary conduct of Akpabio colleagues. Press freedom, IPI blacklists IGP, 2 governors, honors DG, DSS. What an irony. Now, beer belly linked to heart damage in men. That's according to a study. And that's it from the Nigerian Tribune. And that's how far we can go on newspaper headlines. We'll return at 10 o'clock. Moses and I will return at 10 o'clock for extended review of newspaper headlines and inside stories. Now, we'll go for a short break. And when we return, President Tinubu nominates ex-Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa as Defense Minister, convenes emergency security meeting with service chiefs. Join us again. We'll be right back.
Count. you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOPTV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOPTV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOPTV. Now you have more than a voice.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOPTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti and you're watching VOPTV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOPTV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations, shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
Hi, my name is Tosin Mohammed. I'm a gospel artist. Keep watching VOP TV.
All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is VOP This Morning. That's Voice of the People Television, and the program is This Morning. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nominated a former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as the new Minister of Defense. Well, the nomination was conveyed in a letter sent to Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Tuesday, announcing Musa as a replacement for Mohammed Badaru, who resigned from the position on Monday due to health reasons. In his letter to the Senate, the president expressed confidence in Musa's capacity to lead the Nigerian Ministry of Defense and strengthen Nigeria's security framework. The nomination was confirmed in a statement issued by the president's special advisor on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga. Meanwhile, the president on Tuesday convened a meeting with the nation's security chiefs at the presidential villa in Abuja. The session is widely believed to be an emergency review triggered by the recent surge of nationwide insecurity. Well, the high-level engagement occurred less than 24 hours after the resignation of the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru. It also follows a string of mass abductions targeting school children and worshippers in states including Kwara, Niger, and Kebbi. The security chiefs in attendance were led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede. Other key figures present included the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebotokun. The focus of the session is expected to be the escalating wave of kidnappings, dual attacks, and bandit operations that have intensified pressure on several states in recent times. Well, we've been joined in the studio here in Lagos, where we're broadcasting from, by Mr. Somi Oranta. Mr. Oranta is a philosopher, is a political affairs analyst, and a commentator on social issues. Good morning, Mr. Oranta, and thanks for being part of this show. We appreciate your presence.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Okay, we also have beside him Barrister Darlington Agomo. Barrister Agomo is a lawyer and political affairs analyst. Good morning, Barrister Darlington Agomo.
Good morning, Mr. Koro and the rest of the crew.
Okay, beautiful. We'll be joined by other guests from our stations in the course of the show. Now, let's start from the studio here. Now, Barrister Darlington, yes. Yesterday the president, day before yesterday, Badaru, former Minister of Defense, resigned, his appointment and cited, ill health as the reason for his resignation. And we got information that the president might, put Christopher Musa, the penultimate Chief of Defense Staff, in his place as Minister of Defense. And yesterday, Bayo Ononuga issued a release. Now, this is the same Christopher Musa who was let go as Chief of Defense Staff after the coup scare. And now we have him brought back as Minister of Defense. What does that tell you? Is it that the thing was planned to let Badaru go and retire Christopher first before appointing him as Minister of Defense? What is it for you? Especially given in the light of the fact that this Badaru has been there for 2.5 years, getting to 3 years. And when people put pressure on the president to let him go, and the president said, no, I have confidence in the ministers and all of that, including the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle. What is it for you? Do you think that the president is under pressure from some quarters or what? Let's have your broad reaction to these changes that are quite recent, 2 days ago.
This permutation showed that the president is confused. He is a completely confused man. Because in the first place, these changes should not be if things were working well. If this president is actually in charge of his government, this thing that is happening shouldn't have happened. This was the man they alleged that he was the one that was, instrumental to leaking the coup. He was the one that nipped it in the bud. And when they were sacking people, they sacked him. So, what wrong did he do? Did you not discuss it here? That how do you let a man go who saved your government? And now you brought him back. And for the Baduru, please, you know very well that this man has some skeleton in his cupboard. Yet you brought him in. And when people raise eyebrows, you say, no, you are comfortable. Well, in fact, it shows that the president is not in charge.
Now, Barrister. Yes, Barrister, you said that these changes shows that the president is not in charge.
Yes.
And that if things were going right,
yes,
he wouldn't need to make these changes.
Exactly.
Now, things are not going right, and he's trying to get things right by making these changes. Should that be a problem?
No, the man you just released of his office yesterday, you brought him back again now. Can't you get where I'm going to? This man, if he was doing well, why did you let him go?
Why is it that
only for you to bring him back?
Why didn't the individual refuse coming back to work with the president? If you think that he's, will I say the sack and every other thing, the expulsion was not really a good one. Why is it that we have the former CDS still accept the appointment to be the Minister of Defense?
No, they don't want to embarrass the president. Imagine what would happen if the president were to call him and say, come and he said, no, I'm not doing. it will be
Isn't this an embarrassment already that the person that was sacked not quite long is being pushed back again to still man the Ministry of Defense in Nigeria?
The man believes that he has come to help the president achieve his mandate.
Now, Barrister, doesn't it look like this shuffling, you know, of the cabinet? It's a good one, given the fact that we had the Minister of Defense, Badero, who was two-time governor of Jigawa State, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, one-time governor of Zamfara State. And two of them couldn't push back insecurity and banditry and all of that in their state. And we saw the president, without any military background, without military knowledge and all of that, they were put in charge of Nigeria's defense system. Now we have the president bring back, you know, a retired general who has military background to say, okay, come and man this position. Is it in the right pick? Is it not the right pick?
It is not. Let me tell you, this appointment was instigated by America. Yes, they are the one dictating the pace now for Tinubu. I'm not joking.
How do you mean?
Yes, because remember the story of Jackson Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, the Americans told him, go and release that man from the life jail they give him or death sentence. Abi, is that not part of the conditions? And I'm sure he's going to do it. And so this other appointment, they equally mentioned that, look, all the people that have a hand in this insecurity, release them of the appointment. So I will not be surprised.
When you say,
in fact, I will not hesitate to tell you that America is telling Tinubu what to do now.
So at this point, Barrister, are you saying that the likes of Bello Matawalle, whom the people of Zamfara and even clerics in the state have accused of having one or two to do with the bandits, as well as the role he played when he was offering them cow for a gun and all that, are we going to see him being relieved of his duty too?
He must go. Fina, he must go. The capital must. He must go. If President Tinubu wants to achieve results,
all right. Let's bring Sami Ranta into the conversation. What are your thoughts on this one?
On which exactly?
The conversation we're having. The former chief of defense staff being brought in.
Well, the thing is, I could say it's a good one, but the big but there is the fact that will he be able to work? Will he be able to be given the kind of political support that he needs to work? Don't forget, at this juncture, he's no longer commanding any platoon. He's not commanding anything.
Yes, but
he's a politician.
He's a politician now, so he will be mingling with the politicians.
It's a kind of policy making
and
bureaucracy. So the fear now is that
as the chief of defense staff, he was basically reporting to the minister, who then reports to the commander in chief. But now, as the minister, don't you think he'll do more work?
The only good thing there is that if he's able to be given that support, so that he can bring in some policies or change some policies.
Policy formation.
Yes, like the policy of de-radicalization, reintegration, and all those, because he is a man that has been talking about forgetting that he wants them to forget about the non-kinetic method, go all out and deal with these guys. Any forgiveness.
So do you think the president now intends to go all out and deal with insecurity, or is this just for the optics?
That is left to be seen, because by the time, as we watch as days unfold, if the president really wants this issue to be, trashed out to these terrorists, they are not bandits. For them to be routed out of our nation, then there are basic things he will do. The list of terror sponsors and enablers must be released, must be made public, without doctoring it.
All right. I think the list, we are hearing something about the list. We'll come back to you in a bit. Now, let's go to Oka, where we have been joined by Dr. Chukwunonso Ekesobi. He's an economist and policy consultant. He's in this place as in the capacity of a political affairs analyst. He's also of the Department of Economics, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University in Anambra State. Good morning to you, Dr. Ekesobi.
Good morning.
Okay, good to have you. It's been a while. Now, Dr. Kesobi, let's ask some very sensitive but right questions at this moment. We see two people, man the Ministry of Defense, talking about Badaru, former governor of Jigawa State, and Bello Matawalle, former governor of Zamfara State. Straight off, these people are Fulanis, both of them. And we have an issue here with Fulani headsmen operating as terrorists, bandits all around the country in parts of the north. Was it appropriate for the president? And we've been in a terror war for as long as 15, 20 years or thereabout. Was it appropriate for the president, understanding our local politics, to appoint two Fulani men to be in charge of the defense ministry? What's your reaction to that?
Well, from experience, the president has been regarded as somebody who has a political mastery in terms of management of people, resources, and networks. So in his wisdom, he appointed two former governors, both of which I personally doubt their military intelligence as far as managing the complex security situation in the country. So if we have learned one lesson from this adventure, what it has shown is that it doesn't necessarily mean that the savior of a crisis must come from the location where that crisis is located. Because I remember, on a personal note, I think it was under Ihe Jirika that I felt that we've had any serious assault of note on these insurgents, bandits, or terrorists, whichever one we want to christen them. So bringing somebody with that expected military background, and not that in fact, he just recently left the scene. So he's somebody that I'm looking forward to serving as a perfect intermediary between the political class and the men on ground. So I think it may also be like a morale booster to the officers on ground, knowing that yes, one of their own who understands the situation will be able to speak to the president in a language he understands. Because the two former governors, no matter how best their intentions is, the politics more often than not overcloud the security judgment they are supposed to be taking. So maybe it's a lesson the president may have learned the hard way, and following the resignation and the soon-to-be confirmation of the former chief of defense staff, we hope that we may begin to have
talking about the confirmation of the former chief of defense staff, Christopher Musa, who happens to be Christian, by the way, and is from Kaduna State, the hotbed, of this insecurity in the northwest as well. Now, what do you see coming? What do you expect? And I'd like for you to put it in the light of, to consider it in the light of the fact that this is a man who purportedly blew the lead, on a purported coup or on a queue. And he came out to say, look, there was no queue. A few days after that, he was removed from office. Now he's been brought back. How far do you think he can travel in the fight against terrorism? Does it look like the president might have made a mistake to remove him from the military command and now brought him back as a politician to take decisions? What's your reaction to that?
I overheard one of the guests in the studio talking about having the external forces or actors having the capability of maybe influencing the decisions the presidency is making at the moment. Because I was also shocked. I was taken aback when Christopher Musa was relieved of his responsibility. So maybe this may be one of the corrective mechanism of bringing him back to come address the situation. And again, given this habit we have for colorizing most of our political or national issues along religious, tribal, or this thing sentiments. So it is good that maybe you are passing the message that yes, the government may not necessarily be about a particular tribe or about a particular religion. That is good that we are bringing, yes, we are disposed enough, we are accommodating enough to bring the ex-chief of defense staff back into the security architecture. But now that's where the main problem comes. It is one thing to give somebody the assignment. It's another thing to allow the person carry out that assignment.
Interesting point to raise there.
Will he be given the kind of, I'm coming there. Will he be given the kind of political backing? Some of us believe that the minister of FCT is enjoying, for instance. That is why anything that comes up about that, the government does not take it the way it expects. It just gives it a pat on the wrist. So will they give him that kind of backing to do the job, the kind of job that is expected to take place in our defense architecture? Exactly,
because that actually should be the next question I wanted to ask you, Dr. Ekemeze. I wanted to ask, because some persons of the opinion that the president decided to bring back General Christopher Musa so that he might be able to dip his hands in the jar, the cookie jar, and might not be able to talk or be vocal the way he's been all this while. Recall that he's been the one against the non-kinetic approach and, giving his men the chance to say, go out there, reach tell on them, take out these people, and I don't want to hear stories. And after he made those, after he made those comments, and gingering his people and giving them more morale, we saw the sacking and all that. So do you also share a thought, bringing him to join the political team at this point? More like, putting him in a place where he might not really be able to be that, open-minded again?
It is not everybody that loses their conscience or their sense of reasoning once they assume a particular position. Especially at the critical period like this, where we will need to begin to show results. Because in terms of talking, we have talked enough. We have had enough intelligence meetings, security meetings with service chiefs. We should be moving beyond this phase of rhetoric, media grandstanding, to results. And I want to believe that bringing in the chief of defense staff, the former chief of defense staff, is to come and strengthen the resolve in that political space, to show that there is now political will to address the problem, that we are trying to bring a square peg in a square hole, to kind of address the situation. So when the person is speaking to the men, the officers, the security chiefs, those things that are wrong in the system, he will be able to identify it, and with his military backing, take decisive actions without thinking of who to compromise or how to jeopardize whatever it is, or to please any particular interest.
Okay, thank you so much.
The bottom line should be the killings must stop.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Chikunoso Ekesobi. Let's take the conversation to Comrade Calvin Ejumudo. Good morning, Calvin, if you can hear me. Good to have you join today's conversation. We're looking at the results thus far, of course, from the meeting with the service chief that was held yesterday in the Villa. The president of the opinion that we are reclaiming ungoverned spaces, using veteran at this point. And not just that, too. He went further to ask Nigerians to reject divisive rhetoric and also find a way to promote tolerance at this. Now, are we going to see this and the issue of insecurity that Nigerians have been, have been battling for over 15 or past 15 years now? And also the fact that we have the likes of UK, US, and some Western bloc joining Nigeria, having a major force now to end the issue of insecurity. Are we going to see that happen anytime soon? We'd like you to unmute your device if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Kelvin? Please, I would like you to unmute your device. All right, we'll wait for you to rectify that or bring it back to the studio. Barrister, I had the question. What do you have to say to that?
That
the president saying that through the usage of veterans, we've been able to reclaim ungoverned spaces and even so many other achievements, and urging Nigerians now to do away with rhetorics and embrace tolerance as a way forward.
No, he is the one to start it. By his appointment and actions, he will lead the way and Nigerians will follow. So far, he has not shown that he has the political will to do anything. I still say it up to tomorrow. Tinubu have not given the right order. He has not made the right call. This Minister of Defense is just policy formulation.
Barrister,
yes.
We have a situation whereby the former Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, was very outspoken about what to be done to curb insecurity. In fact, in some videos that have trended, he talked about building walls. You know, talked about some countries that built walls around, border walls around certain countries and how that worked for them. And he talked about it. Whether or not there is America breathing down on the president's neck, whether or not, don't you see this action as one in the right direction with an aim to curb insecurity in Nigeria, bring in somebody who has been there, somebody who has, been quite forthright in his stance on the fight against insecurity. He's been very vocal. Don't you think this is a step in the right direction? Shouldn't we commend the president for this nomination?
Was it in the right position? The man you are talking about, is he in a position whereby he can carry out this order?
That's like he's now a minister.
Minister, yes. Minister. Not the man in the field of battle.
Interfacing with the politicians directly. And one with experience.
Please, anything with politicians, it will not fly. Politicians are people like...
even if he's one of them now.
Look, anything with politicians, you've forgotten. Akpabio in the Senate and that other man at the House of Reps. These are the politicians you are going to interface with.
But Barrister, Wike is a politician and he's doing well in SCT.
No, don't go there, please. Don't go there.
You're talking about politics.
Don't go there. Okay. Doing what? These other things you do, you have forgotten that one, Abi. Because
but you want to forget the good things that
anything that has to do with Nigerian politicians, forget it.
So, Barrister, sir, are we going to throw? I mean, if a person does a few good things and maybe a few other things that you're not in support of,
what the man suggested about building, did the Tinubu embrace it?
Now, don't you think now, if he has the ears of don't you think he might get that wish?
He will not.
Why are you so pessimistic?
Hold on. I'm coming. Look, when you have been deceived more than 5 times, are you going to wait until they deceive you the 6th time? This thing that is happening now, if the president is actually hungry for success, hungry to end this thing, he would have done it like 2 years ago.
Better late than never. Better late than
Why
never.
Why must he wait until now? So that will tell you that he is reluctantly doing whatever he's doing now. And that's why you are seeing all these changes. That is neither here nor there. All these appointments now, like somebody asked, why would you know the people that are behind this terrorism, and you now put their brother there?
Okay.
To be aiding and abetting them.
Barrister, what would if Christopher Musa is now made the minister of defense, and what would the minister of defense and the president do to bring back your hope in this administration, for you to say, oh yes, something is being done in the right direction? What would they do? What in particular?
thank God you asked me this question. Do you know our diversity should have been our strength in matters like this? Our diversity. This is where to employ it. Okay. When this thing was getting out of hand under Jonathan, and Jonathan knew that Boko Haram are already in his government, what did he do? He brought in an Igbo man who have no hand, who's going to be neutral. And you saw what he did. At this point now, I expected Tinubu to appoint an Igbo man against these people. Like Jonathan did, and the man produced results. That's what I'm saying here. Tinubu, if you are really a nationalist, get an Igbo man to do this job. Like Insecurity did it.
Barrister,
yes.
So he produced a competent man or an Igbo man?
Do what he has appointed, they are not working now. They are have sympathy for the terrorists now.
You don't have competent people outside the southeast? Is that what you are saying?
What are you saying? The ones you employ so far, what have they done? Mr. Okoro, how can't you see that they are aiding and abetting the terrorists? Can't you see it?
Barrister, when you talk about appointing an Igbo man, when Ihejirika was there, they said, no, Ihejirika, you are killing my people.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Good,
and Jonathan removed him.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you here. At least he produced results. It was Ihejirika
Barrister, now my question is, must it be an Igbo person that will produce that?
Get the person that will do the job.
And he's getting some.
Most people are not doing it now. They are not doing the job. They are not doing the job. Matawalle, in fact, if you look at his the baggages he's carrying, that man's supposed to be in prison by now. And that's the person you ask to be junior minister of what? Security. Can't you see all the things that is going around him? All the accusations. He's here to put him there. What do you expect him to do? These are people you know that they are able to abetting this insecurity, and you put them there. You put them there. Get somebody who is hungry to do the job, like Ihejirika.
Barrister, I think a lot of people prefer the word, get someone who is hungry, and not, like you said, get an Igbo man. Don't you think?
As long as that person has this ethnic, tribal, and religious affinity with the people causing this problem, he will never perform.
So you're saying we don't have
He will never perform.
You're saying on this table that we don't have Igbos who are sympathizers of Boko Haram and
Not Igbo who? Which Igbo?
All right, let's
Where
take the
is the Igbo man coming
conversation.
from?
Let's take the conversation.
Not in the military.
It's all right. Kelvin Ejimodo, good to have you back, please. What's your submission? You know, we're looking at the new appointment of the service chief and also the outcome of the meeting held by the president also with the team in charge of our security. Let's get your opinion on it, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I would like to say, in all honesty, Mr. President is not ready to combat terrorism in Nigeria as we speak.
Simple.
You see, when you go to the pitch as a good coach, you take your best 11 to the pitch.
Exactly.
When you go into the World Cup, you don't go to your second feeder team. You go with your best feeder team because what you want is a result. This is 2 years plus counting. Have you seen the new trend? Daily Osusu in the local parlance. That these people, they're not doing daily Osusu, they kidnap, they collect ransom. A Pamantapa was kidnapped in my state, in Delta State, and one of them was killed. To the point you kidnap a Pamantapa, what economic value does the Pamantapa owns to kidnappers? To tell you how it has been. And nobody go after them. You see, when people commit crime and nobody come after them, they recruit more people into their fold.
I'm sure you understand that there are different levels to the kidnappings we see. There is the kidnapping on a higher level, and there's those done by those that are not even Fulani headers. Those that are regular individuals who just see it as a quick money-making venture.
Criminality is criminality. However you want to describe it. The one that kidnapped the pound typer, it was carrying a gun. The one that kidnapped a market woman is carrying a gun. They are all criminals. And what do you do to criminals? You take the battle to them. Because if they have a free holiday, they constitute more mayhem to the masses. Mr. President has sworn on oath. He said, Emiloko, it's my turn. He's a man of the senator in 1992 for crying out loud. He's a governor in 1999, 2 terms in Lagos State. He said he's well abreast with the length and breadth of Nigeria. And what we expect to see results. Now we face with insecurity. All that areas of the economy is down. We're not looking at those areas, but we're looking at insecurity for now. Concurrently, you are negotiating with bandits, you are paying ransom to them, you are making them know that the business is lucrative. And these people, they have different camps. They communicate. When Camp A kidnap and collect ransom, they say, federal government paid, they say how much, they paid us in dollars. Really? Camp 2 will do what? Camp 2 will move again and kidnap. When that is done, Camp 3 will go and say, wow, this business is lucrative. They are not coming after us, we are collecting money, we are sharing money. They go again and kidnap. That's why we see the surge in kidnapping after the ransom was paid by the federal government, allegedly with the denying the debt. Now, bringing when the former CDS gave an outright opinion, and that's the truth. We have people in Nigeria that we don't even know where they come from, no identity, no nationality. We have porous borders, about 200 porous borders in the country. And up to date, you've not set security drones to monitor your borders for you, and you are saying you want to fight security. The answer is no. We must put the right men in the job, not the men that are our tribesmen. My tribeman might not be gallant ready to combat crime, but what I want to figure out, I'm going to put him there. He will go there and be docile. He will be sleeping.
All right, Kelvin, let's get your opinion on the fact that today we're having a joint committee session meeting with the U.S. lawmakers and Nigerian reps. You know, what do you think will be the outcome of this meeting? Because it's more like after Donald Trump issued the threat of possible bombardment of Nigeria, we're seeing surge in the issue of insecurity, kidnapping most especially. It was after that statement was made that the Eriko Church kidnapping happened. The KB school girls, though they have recovered, they've been reconciled with the parents, that have also played out. Kotangora St. Mary's School also happened. In Kogi, there was a kidnapping. You know, we've lost count of people that were kidnapped. In Kano State, too, it happened, too. So what do you think will be the outcome of this joint committee session meeting that we'll have today?
The Nigerian politicians they will still go there and tell lies. They will still go to that meeting and want to paint the narrative the other way. They will still go there and lie that there's no genocide in Nigeria. They still go there and say the insecurity is being fueled by political enemies, by those that are now in the party, those that want to ensure that Nigeria divide. This is not the time for those kind of sermon. The sermon we want to see now is seek ye first. Do this. Give us results. We are tired of telling us stories. They will go to that meeting today and they will tell lies to the U.S. counterpart, and they want them to believe their own.
All right, thank you very much, Kelvin. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Let's bring Somi Ranta into the conversation. Are you one of those that have lost hope completely, or do you think there's still a flicker of hope somewhere, especially in the fight against insecurity?
There's hope, but that hope has to be fueled by action.
Do you think
actions backed by political will and sincerity of purpose? Because if you just talk about hope, there are empty hopes, and we don't want to dwell in that or at that level. We want hope that is practical, that you can see, the roadmap to achieving a certain set goal and objective. That's the kind of hope we want.
Do you think there is some sort of, well, we've talked about this quite a lot, but do you think the cabal within government is so big that it's difficult for anybody that gets there to do something? Because before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got into office, a lot of Nigerians felt if there's anybody that could do it, if the will is there, he's the one. But we're seeing a different thing.
I think the problem with the situation at hand is that the president, whom I refer to as the political octopus of Nigerian politics, who has his hands and legs, in every pie, within the nation. The thing there is that he's not looking at himself as a statesman. He's seeing himself as a politician. You see, politicians think of the next election. The statesmen think of the next generation. Because we don't have much to do with names, in our nation. We prefer people, okay, I have so amount, I have so, I do so houses. We don't bother about names. That's why the problem. Because if the president begins to think of how to leave a legacy that we can bequeath to the next generation, this will not be like this. Because I think he knows what to do. And I'm asking that he should go ahead to do it. Because as it is in Nigeria today, if we continue the way we are doing, we will not go anywhere. We'll just be running around in a circle, without any noticeable movement. Motion is not movement. So you have to, at this juncture, do the right things. One, those people who have been terrorizing Nigeria, who have been enabling and sponsoring these terrorists, you should name them.
And shame them.
Stop, yes, and prosecute them. If you don't do that, and look, also we are talking about America. The US will not want to share intelligence with Nigeria until we do those things. If a country as far away as the United Arab Emirates will give you lists, and you hit that list, I heard they have about 15 people or companies and all that. They want to publish that. Those are just papering on the matter. Go all out. That's why I'm so doubtful if the new Minister of Defense can actually perform, because there is no sincerity of purpose. The way I'm seeing it as it is now. Until we begin to do this, we must come clean. No sacred cow. Everybody must. If your hands are there, no matter the position you're occupying, you must be named and prosecuted, no matter your position. But we get to that point, and these terrorists are very, very daring. And they're psychologists. They are watching and weighing the whole options. So they are not joking. They are not taking prisoners.
All right.
They want Nigeria needs direct action.
All right, then. So, yes, direct action. That's exactly what Nigerians need. But the name of Christopher Musa will go to the Senate, and when that is approved, we just might have a new Minister of Defense, and we see what actions will be taken in the coming days. We know 2027 elections are around the corner. Oh, well. Let's get into another conversation now. Call your minister to order. Bode George reports Nyesom Wike to President Tinubu as Wike's PDP faction appoints new Southeast Caretaker Committee amid deepening crisis in the PDP. All right, then. This is the conversation. Join us in a bit.
Hi, my name is Tosin Mohammed. I'm a gospel artist. Keep watching VOP TV.
Almighty Father, you are the mighty Redeemer. We've come to worship at your feet, oh Lord. This is Ayotunde Adejimo, chilling with you on the Voice of the People TV. Don't touch that remote. You are where God wants you to be. Listening to the Voice of the People TV.
The Bible says we should give thanks in all circumstances. And all circumstances include the good times and the bad, the high times and the low, the times when everything look as if they are going well, and those times when Enugbe, the ground is dry like the sand in the desert. Those times when you feel like giving up, you should give thanks still. My name is Jeff Melu, and I'm a gospel poet. And you should keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch that dial.
Kábíyèsí Olúọ̀run, we were born to give you twale, to give you worship. People of God, you are watching Voice of the People TV, and my name is Flo Rocker. I encourage you to listen to things of the gospel. You know, we live in a very perilous times where there are some things you watch on television, you will lose faith, you will lose God. Keep your eyes on Voice of the People TV and remain blessed. Flo Rocker says so. Kuzoshi.
2564 coming up on 49, right? 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power. It's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up!
Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning. The former Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Olabode George, has accused the All Progressives Congress, APC-led federal government of attempting to destroy the PDP and undermine Nigerians' democracy. Speaking on the state of the nation on Tuesday, George urged President Bola Tinubu to immediately call the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to order and instruct him to desist from interfering in the PDP's internal affairs. In his address, titled Dear Mr. President, Our Nation is Wobbling Politically, George claimed that APC government is preoccupied with political positioning ahead of the 2027 elections, even at the expense of national security and institutional integrity. He criticized the government's slow response to the escalating nationwide insecurity, including abductions and killings across several states. He stated that instead of responding with urgency, the APC-led federal government appears preoccupied with political positioning ahead of 2027, even if it means weakening institutions and suffocating the opposition. He further highlighted the recent disruption at the PDP National Secretariat on November 18, 2025, as a grave warning of a broader anti-democratic pattern. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party PDP faction loyal to the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, has announced the appointment of a new Southeast Caretaker Committee following approval by its National Working Committee. The statement announcing this was signed by Honorable Umaru M. Bature, the National Organizing Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. The PDP crisis has deepened over the past year, fueled by internal disputes dating back to the 2023 general elections. The factionalization of the party structure in several states, including Rivers, Imo, and Ekiti, has further complicated effort to restore unity. We still have with us in the studio Mr. Samuel Rantan, author, entrepreneur, and public affairs analyst, and we still have Dr. Chukwunonso Kesiobi, a policy consultant, Department of Economics, Chukwemeka Odimego Ojukwu University in Anambra State, and Calvin Ejimodo, National Secretary, Human Rights Protection Congress. He is also the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Delta State on human rights activities. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for still being with us in the studio for this conversation. Let me start off with you, Dr. Chukwunonso Kesiobi. What do you make of this letter written to the President by Bode George to call the Minister of FCT to order? And what do you also think or perceive will be the outcome of the letter, even when he went further to criticize the APC government of proceeding into politics instead of governance, even when we're still in 2025?
I don't think there's a demarcation now between politics and governance as far as the country is concerned. Because why are you reporting to somebody who I believe, even without his usual daily briefings, in every political party in the country? Is it not a striking coincidence that all the opposition parties in the country are having one internal crisis or the other? It may support the narratives by some conspiracy theories that the government of the day is trying to stifle the opposition and reduce whatever challenges it might have ahead of 2027. So that is basically the preoccupation, if we will call it that. Remember, when APC was at its formation stage, there were some persons then saying that one of the mistakes President Jonathan made that time was to allow that party to see the light of the day. That he would have squashed it from the beginning but the president was, taking this posture of, yes, you need a viable opposition for democracy to thrive, this and that, allowing protests here and there, some kind of, negative media commentary, that could have been addressed, just to give the impression that, yes, democracy will work in Nigeria. But now, the same APC that emerged from that kind of platform is kind of, even if they are not orchestrating the problem in the opposition party as alleged in some quarters, but they appear to be the beneficiaries of what is happening to opposition parties in the country. Now, going to PDP. PDP is a classic example of how not to run a political party. Because from the way they were power drunk, I think at some point in their heydays, there was this pronouncement that they will not only were they the largest political party in Africa, but they will remain in power for the next 60 years. How the mighty have fallen. So if for instance, going to the extent of where a party leader like Bode George will have to write the president, please, it is not the responsibility, I beg to differ, but it is not the responsibility of the president to come and put the house of PDP in order.
Okay.
The PDP should go back and do some introspection and fix themselves.
Now, the question I want to ask you is this. Why is it difficult for the People's Democratic Party to expel Wike and his allies from the party? They've already expelled him. Recall they've expelled him, and today, on the cover page of the National Dailies, we learned that they even prepared certificate of expulsion, to hand over to them. Then why is it that he's still gaining ground and momentum? And he's still further destabilizing the party, even when we know they have election at hand in Osun State in 2026, just next year.
The question I will ask then is, who expelled who? Because we had news of expulsion on both sides. So if both sides have expelled each other, in mathematics, they've cancelled out each other, and we now have a zero state. So, in other words, there's no PDP. Since this person has exploited this person and this person has exploited this person. So, it is left for the I don't know if they still have board of directors, if they still have elders in that political party that can come and say enough is enough. Those who ought to have done it have either torn their membership card or have decamped to another party. So the party now is without a strong, any known or respected leadership. So everybody is claiming ownership of whatever is left.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ekeso. Before we come back to the studio, let's go to activist Comrade Ejumudo. Comrade Ejumudo, does it look like that the PDP is that Wike has been able to completely overpower the PDP? For elder statesman, one of the founding fathers of the PDP, to run to the president to say, look, Mr. President, we need you to call your minister to order. Does it look like Wike has completely overpowered the whole PDP structure? Is that what it looks like? I'll need for you to unmute your mic so that we can get your audio feed.
Okay, like my husband said, how are the mighty falling? This is PDP that were the largest party in Africa at some point in time. Good structure, but they allowed greed to infiltrate the party, and today they are suffering from it. You see, it's a shame that they will call him the president to come and fix their internal party. No, they are the major opposition party in the country against the APC. They should fix their democratic structure of their party first. Not call him Mr. President to come and venture into their party politics. No. When they dollarize their party, ab initio, they never knew such a time would come. When you dollarize the party, you leave people that are supposed to bring the offices, the highest bidder gets the day. That's what they are suffering from. A Southern presidential candidate that was agreed upon by them, he went ahead and did otherwise. And today they are all paying for it. Wike will keep causing them mayhem in the party, even when they said they are disqualified. They've not shown capacity. The truth is that PDP as the party have not shown capacity to deal with the light of
Kelvin, let's look at the bigger picture here. I mean, you're talking about the PDP dollarizing itself and the problems it had prior to 2023 elections and all of that. We all know all of that. But let's look at the bigger picture. Democracy in Nigeria. That's what's at stake here. Democracy in Nigeria. And we see a situation whereby the chairman, the Turaki-led PDP now, I mean, there has to be a chairman who would authorize a meeting between, who would give the secretary the authorization to call for a meeting. So that chairman, who has been nominated and all of that, appointed or whatever, decides to say, okay, we are expelling these individuals for anti-party activities with certificates to show for it. And then the secretary calls for a meeting. Where is that done? The secretary calls for a meeting. And all of that playing out within the PDP. This is democracy we're talking about. Who should step in at this point? Is it the courts? Is it Trump? Because Trump has been also called upon to come rescue the party. Or is it Bola Ahmed? Who should step in at this point?
At this point in time, the leaders of the party should come together, apologize to those they've wronged, reconcile the party structure from grassroots to the top level, have a roundtable discourse, and foster a new constitution and policy driven for the party. If they continue in this light, I bet you, come 2027, PDP will not have a candidate to hold the position of a presidency. So this is not this time for them to come. This is not time to say you want to expel anybody. No. Bring everybody to a roundtable discussion and say, okay, we are sorry where you have heard as a party, apologize. Restitution. Ask for forgiveness. Then let the party restructure its structures and policies.
So apology without expulsion.
Yes. Without expulsion, yeah.
Yes.
Because the man you want to expel now, we see it like it's being withheld. So I think for now, they shouldn't expel anybody. Rather, come to a dialogue table, discuss terms with all party members, including the women, the youth angle, the elder statesmen, the BOT, and all of that. Because Wike will say tomorrow that he's a PDP member. Even what he's doing is anti-party politics. And they've not been able to show capacity at the party to deal with him decisively.
What other capacity are we asking about here? I mean, if the party says, thank you. If the party says we are expelling you, this is a certificate of expulsion. What other capacity are we talking about, Somi Ranta?
You see, it's most unfortunate that PDP, a party that was formed by eminent Nigerians, at the time the party was formed, Barrister Wike was probably doing some work at the garage in Port Harcourt. For him now to have grown to the point of putting the entire party structure in his pocket is something that we'll have to look at again. But like I stated on different fora, PDP cannot do anything about that situation. Probably after the 2027 general election, maybe they have the power.
Somebody, George, is calling on the president to do something. Do you think the president should and can chime in on this one? And if the president is to do something, what can he do?
They have called Donald
Trump, yes.
Donald Trump couldn't come to their rescue.
He might still come, you never know.
They are going to the man now who is actually giving power, propelling the trouble in their party. So you see, if somebody has vowed to cut your neck off, you don't have to go and present your neck for the person. Say, take knife, look at my head, cut it off. So I'm surprised that the elder statesman, Bode George, is doing that. Because it will not amount to anything. In fact, there's even a narrative that all of them are working for the same person. That's virtually all of them. So it's probably that they are just acting movie for us to...
Okay, Mr. Ranta, talking about all of them probably working for the same person, does it look like Wike is also going to be the loser at the end? Because over the weekend, we saw Turaki, the new PDP chairman, and his own NWC, visit former president, military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, and he recognized them as the leadership of the PDP and charged them to go and build Nigeria's democracy and build the PDP as a party. Does it look like that recognition rubs off negatively on the Wike faction?
Look, IBB, if Wike and his group goes to visit him, we still charge them to go and build the party.
You think so?
Of course, he will still receive them. He won't send them away. He's another statesman. So the thing is that I think I'm beginning to, align more with the narrative that they are all working for the same person. Because when you look at the whole scenario in PDP, they should not forget about that. Is why people are leaving the party. So the whole thing has been, it's a grand plan. It's a grand plan. Let us ensure that nothing works here. Because if you go and contest an election, whether local government, whether state or national, under the PDP, with the crisis, at the end of the day, the cost will throw whatever you have done.
Now, so I would like to ask you, why should people like former President Olusegun Obasanjo, we have former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, still alive, and the party, that they founded is faltering in their lifetime, and everybody is keeping quiet. Does it fit into the narrative that, look, the ruling party is intent on ensuring that the PDP doesn't survive 2027? Why are they keeping quiet? Can you hazard a guess?
For OBJ, he had already turned his party card.
And came back.
He came back, maybe one leg in, one leg out. Then for Goodluck Jonathan, he's also one leg in, one leg out. He's working more for the party in power for obvious reasons.
Jonathan, you mean?
Yes, now. Is he not the one that they sent to go and represent and came and gave report? But you see, PDP is even asking the federal government that these hands of fellowship, this big brother you are playing, trying to help strengthen opposition in Guinea-Bissau, why don't you do same in Nigeria by allowing the opposition parties flourish? But you see, we are people that love, to play games around most things. Because at the end of the day, you cannot say we are pressing democracy, multi-party democracy, and we are looking at one-party state playing out in our faces. It's unfortunate. So, at the end of the day, we may not even be able to say that we are pressing democracy. Even civil rule, we have not qualified to say we are pressing civil rule. Rulership by civilians. Because just only recently this year, a military person was called in while the democratic institutions were dropped, sent on suspension, and military ruled Rivers State for 6 months and committed a lot of atrocities in the state.
Okay.
So it's like that.
All right. Yeah, London.
Yeah, so the truth is that PDP should just go and rest until after 2027.
Okay, PDP should just go and rest
would
until...
that be if they are to rest for after the 2027? Because one of the reports we got says that the Wike faction is of the opinion that they should make sure that the party, PDP, will not field in any candidate for the 2027 election, or else the internal wrangling will keep on happening in the party.
I said there is no democracy. Somebody, a former Senate member, told the world that what we have, that the judiciary in Nigeria and the legislature are units in the presidency, not even departments.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Samir. And I think we are going into the Senate in a bit now. Gentlemen, I would like for you to stay with us as we get into the next topic of discussion. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, Akpabio Goje clash during plenary over accusation of unparliamentary conduct. Stay with us and don't go. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tosin Mohammed. I'm a gospel artist. Keep watching VOP TV.
Almighty Father, you are the mighty Redeemer. We've come to worship at your feet, oh Lord. This is Ayotunde Adejumo, chilling with you on the Voice of the People TV. Don't touch that remote. You are where God wants you to be. Listening to the Voice of the People TV.
The Bible says we should give thanks in all circumstances. And all circumstances include the good times and the bad, the high times and the low, the times when everything look as if they are going well, and those times when Enugbe, the ground is dry like the sand in the desert. Those times when you feel like giving up, you should give thanks still. My name is Jeff Melu, and I'm a gospel poet. And you should keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch that dial.
Yes, sir. Kábíyèsí Olúọ̀run, we were born to give you toilet, to give you a shame.
Well, a face-off and war of words between Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Gombe Central Senator Danjuma Goje caused a rowdy session during the sitting of the upper legislative chamber on Tuesday. Senator Goje accused Akpabio of doing what is wrong and unparliamentary during the sitting. The dispute began when Akpabio walked into the chamber, took over the seat from the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Jibrin Barai, who was presiding, and immediately summoned legislative leaders to an aside meeting. However, Goje disagreed with the action of the Senate President, accusing him of wrongdoing and disturbing the business of the Senate. The Gombe lawmaker cited Order 55, Section 12, Subsection A of the Senate Standing Orders 2023 as amended, which states that interaction not allowed during plenary to back his claims. Now, let's take a look at a video from the rowdy session.
There should always be a meeting outside. When we come to Parliament, we do parliamentary business. And I believe what we are doing here, everything is a standstill now. We are not doing business, parliamentary business.
Your point of order is noted.
What?
Your point of order is noted.
Not sustained. No, then they should leave. They should leave here and then we'll move on. I'm calling on us to move on based on this order. Or go inside and talk. Or we'll go on recess. We'll go out and give you. When you are ready, we'll come back and meet you.
Can I answer? Can I answer? Everybody that you see here was invited by the chair. So, for a brief discussion in continuation of today's sitting and in line with the order you have just read, whether or not we should proceed in view of a very urgent assignment at the villa by 1 o'clock. And please approach the chair so you can be part of it.
I don't want to be part of it. I'm opposed to this one. I will not come. It's unparliamentary. It's unparliamentary. It's wrong. It's wrong.
You have it. For you to be part of it, the meeting, I mean, everybody here was called for the meeting, but for you to be part of it, you have to approach the all right. Well, we still have with us Somi Uranta and Kelvin Ejimudo. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for staying with us. Let me start off with Kelvin, who joined us virtually. Kelvin, you saw the video on parliamentary action leveled against the president of the Senate. I mean, what's your broad reaction to that one? Well, Kelvin, you might need to unmute your microphone. Do we have Kelvin Ejimodo with us?
Okay. Yes, I think I will meet.
Go ahead, please.
You see, it seems the Senate president seems to be having issues loggerhead with a lot of lawmakers in the parliament. I think the other day he was having a heated argument with Senator Adams Osomole. The other day with Natasha. And he likes when it's time for serious legislative business, it must be handled seriously, not when.
Unfortunately, we seem to have a network glitch there with Kelvin's connection. Let's bring it back to the studio. The Senate president seems to be falling out quite a lot with senators, and there have been talks about a possible impeachment some time back, and do you think he will come back? I mean, if APC wins the majority again in 2027, do you see Akpabio coming back as president of the Senate again?
Well, I don't know. The thing is that when you are given a job and the job you are doing it to the dictates of the giver of the job.
Whether you're following the tenets of how things should be done.
It doesn't matter. You know, in Nigeria, just satisfy the person who is your boss. You know, I told you that the senator.
Isn't that itself problematic?
Of course, it is.
If you are allowed to do wrong as long as you please me, isn't that problematic?
You see, in our system, in our own climate, that is what is obtainable. Insofar as the state president is working to satisfy the villa, he told them that it's the villa, that they are thinking about working on something, you know, that is an urgent situation, that, you know, there's a time frame to it. That, you see, what the Senate president did was like somebody in a class trying to be a noisemaker, and someone else is trying to write the names of noisemakers, and he just wrote the first person, the arrowhead of the noisemaking, and says the Senate president. And the Senate president, come and join us. Come and talk with us. Maybe there's some prayer. There's some prayer that will be sent to some emails.
No, okay, talking about prayers. Now, so I'd like for us to briefly, you know, review what happened yesterday. The Deputy Senate President was supervising plenary. Now, Godswill Akpabio walks in, takes over from him, he leaves his position and goes back, you know, to the floor. And now the Senate President summons a group of people. Say, okay, come, let us discuss. Discuss what? And then the launching of an emblem.
Armed Forces emblem.
Armed Forces emblem at the villa, overriding the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What picture does it paint of, you know, Godswill Akpabio, in terms of coordination, in terms of planning, in terms of prioritizing on the welfare of Nigeria?
Is it just Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President you're talking about? What about all the other leaders that came to join him? What about the rest? It was only...
no, he summoned them. He summoned them.
I'm coming, please.
Okay.
It was only Danjuma Goje that stood up and challenged that, you know, unparliamentary action. You cannot, you know, he would have just come or find a way to send message and get those guys he needed, those leaders, so-called, into one of the other rooms, and they discuss what they want to discuss, and allow the business of the Senate to continue, you know, with the deputy, the man that was presiding over. They chose to come, took his seat, and everybody else we are watching. I mean, it shows lack of seriousness. It shows that we are not a serious. See, the issue there is that the world is watching what we call democracy. And when Danjuma Goje was talking, was, you know, calling him to order, how come other senators did not rise up to the occasion and add their voice to it? They all sat, they all waited. So it shows that we are not serious-minded. That is also lending credence to the point made by another senator that the legislature and probably the judiciary are units in the presidency. Because I do not see why that should be a reason for them to disrupt the business of the Senate. And nobody else. That man was the only voice that stood against it. No support from anybody else. They seem to feel it's okay. And that's not good for our democracy. That's not good for the chambers that is actually the people's chamber. The people's, that is the symbol of democracy in any democratic setting. And the Senate president has been carrying on like that. He gets away with anything he wants. So even if they come back, they want to come back again, assuming that they come back, which is doubtful. If they come back again...
Which is doubtful.
Yes. You see, if they come back again, and if the powers that be wants him to be there, look, Nigerians are for the dollars.
I don't understand that statement.
Yes, I don't understand. Is it that Nigerians are for the dollars or that the senators are for dollars?
Okay. Are senators not Nigerians?
When you say Nigerians are for dollars, it looks like all of us, you know.
Well, when you check majority, when you check the majority, you can deduce the fact from the majority.
No. The National Assembly, the politicians are not the majority.
Most Nigerians are for the dollars. Some who have not gotten there are warming up. So when they get there, they will rubbish what they've done so that they can also eat from the national.
So basically, you're speaking truth to power now because you're not there. So if you get there and the dollars get into your wallet.
Excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
Don't put me on that spot.
I'm not putting you on that spot.
You see, most people, you have seen how many people, they are on the activist side, they are on different parts.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm not doing that. Because I have something I do to earn a living.
Are you earning in dollars or naira?
I earn in naira.
Are you for the dollar?
I earn in naira.
Would you want to be for the dollar?
Please, I'd like for you to spare some of your answer.
No problem.
Okay, let's go back to Kelvin Ejimodo and see if we can get his audio feed right. Kelvin, are you still in? Okay. Oh, unfortunately, we've lost connection with Kelvin Ejimodo. Now, so before we leave, we would like for you to give us your concluding thoughts.
You can match all the conversations.
Match all the conversations.
Let me start with the Minister of Defense. I think the junior Minister of Defense should also be relieved of the office. And if the government of today wants the Americans to take them serious, because they don't care about what Nigerians feel anyway, so it's the Americans and the international community now that will be our, will take solace in the fact that they are coming into the matter. So if they want them to be taken seriously, if they want them to really share information, intel with Nigerian authorities, they should immediately act by releasing the names of the people who are terror sponsors, not doctrine it. They should also stop the policy of de-radicalization and reintegration, and weed off the names of all those terrorists that are in the Nigerian armed forces who are moles in the system. Then the Minister for State will also have to go the way the other, maybe he should also resign on health reasons. Then for that, let this man be given the new Minister of Defense, be given the backing, political backing to work. Then we come to the PDP matter. I think their own case is, there's nothing we can do about their case. The party is in comatose, so they will just relax, have fun. After 2027, if they have the capacity, they can resurrect the party. Then on this last one of the Senate, they need to understand that the Senate is, the legislature is the only arm of, democracy, that if there is a push or anything, that is the only arm that goes off. The judiciary will be there, the executive will be there. So these people are the people that represent Nigerians. They should act as such and do the things that we'll be happy to say, look, such person is representing us. Like my own senator, I've not had anything from him.
Interesting. I believe you will call him to order this period, this Christmas period. I'm coming to give handouts, so you might hear from him and all that. Thank you so much, Mr. Samir Ranta, for being part of today's show. We sincerely appreciate your presence. Samir Ranta, an author, entrepreneur, and public affairs analyst. Thank you. And also, Dr. Chukunoso Kesobido, we couldn't get your opinion on this due to network glitches. We sincerely appreciate you also being on the show. Calvin Ejimudo, National Secretary, Human Rights Protection Congress. Thank you also for being part of today's Voice of the People this morning. And this is how far we can go on the show. Thank you so much to the director of the show, the producer of the show, Chema Innocent, the the bar director, the sound engineer. Thank you for the work you're doing behind the cameras, sincerely appreciate. And this, on behalf of the colleague I have, my amiable, wonderful brothers here in the studio, Chukuma Okoro, Moses Humphrey. I am Fina Okechukwu. Enjoy the rest of your day. I can't stop telling us to be patriotic. Believe me, I know some people are looking at me somehow, but Nigeria will be great again. And we'll come back on the table to talk about how great of a nation we are. Bye for now.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
My name is Insecurity. They call me the Oga Padaputa of them, the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. The city call me Enjoyment Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, why told me?
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No My Day, but last, more than No My Day, or more. Not be all the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and they want to cut anything come on. And VOP TV.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejimo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it. Or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want to actually, I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that guy because VOP is the plot.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it dey hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. VOP TV.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. This is Newspaper Review. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I am Chukuma Okoro. Thanks for joining us again.
And we have Dele Fanimo with us in the building. Good to have you join us.
My pleasure. Good morning.
All right, then. Good morning. Now, let's dive into it. We have The Guardian. Let's look at some headlines from The Guardian, and then we'll touch on some of the dailies as well. Chaotic Yuletide travels loom as 15 airlines face 65% capacity dip. PDP deepens purge, issues expulsion certificates to Wike, Fayose, Ayaun, others. There you have it. Chaotic Yuletide travels loom as 15 airlines face... Now, I was trying to book flight tickets for somebody yesterday, and it kept going from 194 to 240 and coming down to 175 and then went back again. You know, it just kept fluctuating. That's Lagos to some part in the east.
It's about time for them to cash in. And apart from that, it's also subject to the vagaries of traffic. Everybody knows that at this point, at this time of the year, movement is very rapid. People want to go to their ancestral homes to celebrate the Yuletide, and some would also want to reconnect with old friends and all that. So, and the capacity of the airlines is not such an elastic one for now, because the total aircraft that is available for such movement is like maybe 25 to 30% of the needed aircraft. And so people would have to just do. And those prices you see while you are trying to book a flight, I can tell you that if you go further, you might meet much higher price. Those ones are just juggling it to attract you. But when it's time for you to pay, you will realize that you are paying more.
They are some
That's the way they do.
Charges.
And you know, the funny part of it again is that officials of that airline, they save money to make money at this time. They buy up seats in anticipation of last-minute travelers that are ready to pay maybe double or even triple of how much they bought. In the past, at this period, when it was not as chaotic as this, I had traveled with Emeka something as my name. Because I was desperate, I wanted to fly, and I must fly. And so a ticket that was sold ordinarily at the counter for 23,000, I had to pay 45,000. Because I must get back to Lagos that day. So all these things are normal in the Nigeria situation where, and you know one funny thing again, for some of these people that bought these tickets in anticipation of rush, you just find out that there may not be enough passengers on that particular flight. And so they will tell you seats fully booked. But when you enter the aircraft, you will be traveling with less than half of that aircraft.
In ordinary times.
In ordinary times.
Probably not this.
Not this Yuletide period. So it's business. And it's like the Matawalle days in Lagos. Once they see passenger rushing, they don't need to consult the driver before they hike the fare.
Yes.
So it's a normal thing at this time.
All right.
But for how long are we going to go through this? I mean, the aviation sector. At a point, while growing up, as a young man, there were so many airlines.
That is it.
There were so many airlines, but gradually all of them started, when Okada pioneered the private initiative, we had Cabo, we had ADC, at a point we had Chanchangi, and all of that, Soliso, Dana, but all of a sudden, there are few around now. And those few are finding it difficult to survive. So at what point will we see the federal government, the coordinating ministry of the economy? Because the aviation industry, whether we like it or not, is a money spinner.
Of course.
Both locally and internationally, And I'm happy that Air Peace was able to get a slot, to fly direct to Brazil. That's going to be
already they are in UK.
They are in UK and all of that. But in traveling locally, why is it still a big problem? We have a high percentage of Nigerians, that have dropped, from that
radar.
That radar, it used to be a normal menu for the average, normal working class.
Yeah.
But how many people can afford 200,000 naira airfare in ordinary time? I mean, you have
except you have a business that will cover the cost.
Exactly.
That's when you want to do
I mean,
that.
you are in Lagos, you want to travel you want to go to Abuja, at short notice, and you have to pay like 200 and something thousand. How many Nigerians
just one way ticket
in the middle class can afford that? So it's a problem.
You see, the way to reduce some of these things is, up till now, C-check and D-check are still offshore. There is no reason. I think one aviation minister wanted it in Nigeria. I don't know what's caught with it. We should have facilities that would ensure that we can do C-check and D-check in Nigeria.
Apart from doing C-check locally, but
and then
the equipment,
we have to
the parts you have to buy abroad. And
you see, buying the part will not be as much as for D-check now. I'm told that you pay as much as maybe like $1 million. But if it's locally sourced, it won't be as high as that.
It still may be, because the people that are servicing it, you have to bring expatriates who you probably pay in foreign
These
currency.
expatriates you are talking about, Nigerians are in the
you also have to,
aeronautical
you also have to, how many of them?
There are many of them.
You also have to buy the parts.
The parts, yes, I agree with you.
The parts.
We are not manufacturing parts.
So it might be negligible, and
then they have to take
the difference might not be very.
They have to take a review of the tax, because if you see the list of tax imposed on this airline on ticketing alone, what comes to the airline is negligible compared to what goes to other taxes and all that. So all those things would have to be reconsidered, because either we like it or not, if Ethiopia, with that small economy, can have a thriving, if Kenya, Morocco can have
Egypt
thriving airlines, then what stops Nigeria from having a airline that is strong enough? Because Ethiopia flies almost every country in the world.
Yes, it's
because sometimes if you want to buy cheap ticket, you want to go to US or Europe, if you don't mind that, you have to have a stopover in Ethiopia.
I've met a couple of Nigerians who now, when they want to go to US, you know what they do? They fly Egypt Air.
That is it.
Yes, Egypt Air. Stopover at Cairo, and now take a long haul again. Some of them say it's very tiring, but
it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
And we hear that airfares might just go up next year because of the taxes.
That's what I'm saying. The taxes are too many. Too many.
All right, okay. We have Barrister Darlington joining the conversation. Good morning to you, Barrister. Now let's get into some of the headlines here. Mba presents 1.62 trillion naira budget, Lord Tinubu's economic policies. Projects 1.3 trillion naira capital expenditure, 321 billion naira recurrent expenditure. Education gets 32.27% as economic social sectors lead sectoral allocations with 825.9 billion naira. 644.7 billion naira respectively. Earmarks 20 billion naira for gratuities. 20 billion naira for gratuities.
Well, since it's a projection of what he intends to do, it's not as if the cash is there. It's not
statement of priorities.
Statement of priorities. So, but one thing that is instructive in that is that if other states would take a cue from him and replicate some of those things in making Nigeria leapfrog to what we desire, education should be priority. Look at that. It has even surpassed UNESCO threshold. 32% of the budget is going to education. And do you know that today India exports brain, not any resource. That's why Modi was able to call Trump's bluff when he said he was going to send people back to their countries. He said, we have 750 Indians residing, 1,000 Indians residing in America. We are ready to accommodate them, bring them back. Of course, Trump knew that if that should happen, California, which is the 5th biggest economy in the world, would go under in no time. And he knows that that would be serious problem for the US. That's why he couldn't call the Modi's bluff. And that also slowed down his harassment of Indians. You will never see him. So if Enugu is taking that lead by marking 32%, and for the first time, that budget also showed that recurrent expenditure is just 1/3 of capital expenditure. That's how it should be across board, even at federal level. But what we find, recurrent expenditure will be more than capital expenditure in most of the budget they bring to the table.
Because some invisible personnel are included in the budgetary allocation.
Ghost workers are immemorial.
So
ghost workers, if they are ghost workers, that means they are ghost jobs. So why don't they provide people those jobs?
So that is just the problem. The money we waste on irrelevant issues in Nigeria is so appalling, so annoying. And after wasting all this money, you will turn around and tell me that we have no money. Is it that we have no money, or you cannot be able to manage judiciously the money available to you? These are two different things. If you look at the money that these politicians waste for their own personal use, money that you have used for structures, projects and all that, does it not embarrass you that up to today, in our infrastructural development, we cannot say yes, we have tidied up this particular end. Every government that comes into office, you'll be talking of infrastructure, rail, road. Do you mean that Nigeria is as big as America or Russia? The answer is no. It's just that this money, the moment they budget it, some people will share it. And so the project will be there. The 3 generations, you are still on the same project. Look at the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. If they sit down and compute how much went into that road, you will shed tears. These are the issues. So let nobody come and tell me that Nigeria have no money. We have money. It's just that it is not judicially used. That's the truth. This 210 trillion naira we are looking for today, is it not with somebody? Please, is it not with some people? And look at the explanation. That 17 trillion naira out of that money was used to protect your pipeline. That is, can you sit down and begin to imagine what went down with that money? 210 trillion naira. This one is not rumor or allegation. That money just disappeared. And now they are telling you that out of that money, 17 trillion naira. You now ask yourself, for what end? Was it justified? What are you protecting? After the protection, what happened? Did you get any result? The answer is no. So the level of profligacy in Nigeria, I wonder what prosperity will talk about us.
Okay, let's come back to Peter Mba. The budget, 1.something trillion naira budget. Like Dele and I said,
62 trillion.
62 trillion. The budget is a statement of priorities about, okay, this is how much is coming in. This is how much I intend to expend and all of that. They have their benchmarks and all of that. Don't be surprised. If you go deeper into that, you'll also see a deficit. This is how much we are going to borrow, to help us based on the inadequacies we have from our internal generated revenue and expectations from FAC. You know, and the fact that also some of the monies coming from the Federation Allocation Account Committee will also be used to offset previous debts that the government owes. Now, that said, Peter Mba looks like someone who is headed somewhere. He has a good direction. I have been to Enugu recently, and I see him do a lot of, you know, good work. There's a conference center that he's building, has revived the presidential hotel. You know, the internal roads are being fixed. Outside roads he built smart schools. And there are parks too. You know, that like the Gariki that I met as a young man. And for over 40 years it was like that. But he has pulled it down, rebuilt it. It's now a modern park, modern motor park, you know, where they've not started using it. I understand that there are disagreements between the levies to be paid. People say that the levies are too expensive, that they are very high, so they still make use of the roads, and that causes a lot of traffic on the major Agbani road. But talk of doing a good job, a takeoff point, he has a good takeoff point. He seems to be doing very well. And this is budget, it's a reflection of what he intends to do. Peter Mba, when he was campaigning, he said he was going to build a certain 1,000 number of roads. And when he said it at the campaign ground, people turned and said, do you know what you're talking about? He said, yes, I know what I'm talking about. It's possible. I can do it. And in the first 1 year, you know, the milestone he achieved was very impressive because he did that. He's building a lot of roads because there is no point going to build major roads, you know, new roads. You are trying to cut one city to connect one city to the other.
Roads are bad.
Arterial roads are bad. You know, so if you go within Enugu, he seems to be doing a lot in Independence layout, Achara layout, you know, Opera Avenue area and all of that. He seems to be doing good. So this budget is a reflection of what he intends to do in 2026.
And you know, and
I expect that other governors, you know, of the Southeast will also borrow from him. Alex Oti, beautiful. He's also doing a lot of good jobs. I was home over like last month, and there's a road I used to hear about in my area, but I never used that road. When I traveled last, I used it, and it was brand new road, you know, brand new, very well paved with gutters, you know, on drainages on both sides of the road, very solid. And there was a particular Omenuko bridge that it didn't have girders for over 45, 50 years. He built it, and when I looked at it, it looked like one of those small London bridges, and I was very impressed. You know, I was very impressed. And I expect other governors to do that too. Chukwuma Soludo is back. Well, he promised us the Dubai of Africa. We want to see that happen in his second term.
Personally, I don't want to praise anybody for building roads.
Okay.
We are not praising them. We're just
saying what they have done.
You know, and as against, so what about other governors that are not even doing anything?
The governor of your state, what has he done?
Now, listen very well. This is what they promised to come and do for you and I.
But those who promised and didn't deliver.
So we now give them knocks. We now give them knocks. Look, Nigerians generally should stop praising their leaders when they do the job they will.
Because it is the responsibility of government to provide.
Yes, when I'm doing my own, who praises me?
Does it look like I praised?
He didn't praise. He was just showing what this man has done, and he was just saying that with his antecedents he can do more. I agree with by Sadalinsin.
The very thing they swore to do for us, major issue, all of them when they were taking oath of office is what? Protect life and property. That's what they swore. They didn't swear that they are going to do road for you. That they are going to build road. They didn't swear to it. They didn't. So that is what I'm holding on to. That thing they swore that they are coming to do. Are they doing it? Please tell me, are they doing it? That is where we should be holding them accountable. If you build all the road and nobody to use it, what happens? Please tell me. If you build all the roads and there's no human being to use it, what happens? That is where we should be holding on to. Protect life and property. Is there any safe state in Nigeria today? That is one single state. That there is no problem there. Mention the state.
Lagos.
So when we keep praising that, we leave the major and we are now majoring on the minor. That is the major thing. If there is security of life and property, people can, in fact, they can aspire to be whatever. You can go to your business, you can travel anywhere, you can go anywhere, go and look for businesses. Is that not true? There are some businesses that the owners already have shut down because this insecurity cannot allow them. Can you go to the north now and go and buy goods and enter the motor and start coming back on your own? Tell me. These are issues. So if they have not done that, I will not praise any of them.
All right then. Well, let's look at a few other headlines here. We are reclaiming ungoverned spaces using veterans. Tinubu meets service chiefs, demands greater efficiency from them, hails bravery of military in confronting terrorism, banditry, asks Nigerians to reject divisive rhetoric, promotes tolerance, nominates General Christopher Musa as new Minister of Defense. All right? So that's the big story, really. And yes, also ties into, you find out in most dailies as well. Yes, go ahead.
Moses, who is the chief divider of Nigeria today? Please tell me. Who is the chief divider? Yes. Who is that particular person that divided Nigeria across political, religious, ethnic line? You can see now. You can see these leaders. When they talk, they make you look like you are the guilty one. They don't even accept that the problem is from them.
Let me also take headlines from this day, because it ties into the same headline, and then we'll have our reactions. Tinubu hails troops fighting terrorism, says military sacrifice bolstering stability, declares nation's diversity as natural assets must be protected, cherished, launches 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem. I think that's what the President of the Senate was trying to do.
wanted to rush to it.
Meets service chiefs, demands efficiency. President Akpabio, Wike donates to appeal fund for fallen heroes, injured 7 troops. Senate moves to tackle insecurity with nationwide single emergency number. So, gentlemen.
Like Barrister was saying, it gets very troubling, and I get worried when people in government, our leaders, come and say, look, don't use divisive comments, don't use divisive statements. Meanwhile, their actions are quite divisive. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. When we see a president that everything, 75% of the things, he has done is just to divide Nigeria through appointments and all of that. And he turns around to tell Nigerians, don't use decisive comments. It takes all of us as fools or what?
I wonder.
As if we are not seeing these things. As if we are dumbsters. As if we don't know our left from our right. It is the call of government. It is the call of leadership, to unite the people. Unite the people, not by rhetoric, but by your actions. What you do, your actions and inactions. Like Barrister asked, who is the chief divider in chief? He started from where Buhari stopped. And some people don't find it strange because he said he was going to continue from where the former president stopped. And that is exactly what he's doing. So, look at ambassadorial slots, that he did. The Southwest got 12. He was even magnanimous enough to give the Southwest 5. South got how many? Central. Southeast. But Southwest got Southeast got 5. Southwest got 12. And it's just been like that in in all of his appointments. There was a time we reeled out like 50, 60, up to 80 critical national appointments that the president made, and all of them went to the Southwest. Is that not divisive enough? And he's asking us not to be divisive with our words. It's quite unfortunate. That is what we see.
Because this is insecurity. Remember, when you appointed all most the people from the Southwest in all the critical security and the paramilitary sections. Remember, customs, internal affairs, chief of what staff, then this other one. In fact, all the areas that had to do with military and paramilitary, police, all of them, Southwest. If they have brought...
Southwest, all of them.
Sorry?
It wasn't Southwest, all of them. Let's not misinform people on national television like this.
Hold on.
If it said it was lopsided, I agree. You understand? But don't come and give.
If you think that is giving something that is
he said all of them from Southwest.
No, do you have the facts?
I said the most of them.
Barrister, do you have the facts? Dele, do you have the facts?
I have the fact is there in the open that all the service chiefs are not from Southwest.
He said
all the paramilitary. He said all the paramilitary. He said all of them.
Most of them.
You are talking about customs. You are talking of immigration, correctional center. Correctional centers are headed by an Igbo man.
No, that is
go and check. Fast check now.
What's the name of the person? What's the name of the person?
Oche or what? I'll look.
No, that's not correct.
I'll look for it now.
Talk about the paramilitary agency.
What I'm saying in essence is that look, it may not be all of them, but
if you say 80, if you say it's lopsided, I'm not going to quarrel with that. But when you say, you don't say everybody.
No, I didn't say everybody.
You said for here.
I said no, I didn't say. I said most of them. But the issue here is that are they bringing results? That is what I was after. If all of them are from his own village, go, and we are, what are you saying? Who will complain? No, tell me, who will complain, Mr. Okoro? Will I talk? Will you talk?
No, people won't talk because we had certain leaders, that were enough with that.
Yes.
And they evenly distributed positions and all of that. And nobody complained.
The Controller General of Correctional Center in Nigeria is Ndidi Nwakuche.
Ndidi Nwakuche is from the south.
He's not from Southeast.
It's from South. That's Delta.
No, even at that. Hold on, even at that.
So, okay, Delta has suddenly become Southeast.
No, it's Delta Southwest.
Hold on.
No, but it's Delta Southeast.
No, it's Delta Southwest.
It's Southwest.
The way when he said this.
Hold on, I'm coming.
I think we should.
We don't
stay on the issues.
Let's stay on issues and don't just come and bring things that would. You are even saying things that will even divide us more. Now, in the day, I suddenly become a Southwestern.
Hold on, I'm coming. Listen.
If you go to immigration today, we will see it. He said so. I won't sit here and we're like to distort facts.
No, it's not a matter of distorting facts. If you think that it's distorting facts, put out the correct facts. Put out the correct facts.
I'm putting out.
Which is what? Can we stay on the issue to the benefit of the viewers?
Of what importance is somebody who is keeping the prisoner to Nigeria? As you are keeping them, you are equally a prisoner. Yes. So tell me,
Barrister, let's stay on the issue so our viewers can benefit from the conversation.
I think we are staying on the issue because our president said we should not make the business statement.
That's what you are
and
saying.
that was you are interrogating.
And you are the one dividing Nigeria by your actions and inaction, by your utterances. All these things are devices, actions that we are talking about. Is that not what we are saying here? Okay. That's the issue here. All your appointments, all your utterances, you are very divisive on it.
Okay.
Let nobody argue
Let's
with
take
that.
a few other headlines here. Senate considers single toll-free emergency number nationwide. Experts link security emergency to future food abundance. Experts link security emergency to future food abundance.
I don't understand.
Interesting headlines there.
I don't understand. Benue farmers, have they gone back to their homes? Where is the food abundance coming from? No, tell me, have they gone back to their home? That's the first thing. For you to be talking of food abundance, is it not human beings that will grow the food? So if they are in IDP camp, what future are you talking about here? There is no future. That is why I've been saying it. Because tomorrow now they say, you don't bring suggestion. The one we suggested, did anybody listen? Mr. Okoro, Moses and Fanimo, please. If Tinubu should make it a point of duty today and said all the people in Benue and Plateau whose villages have been taken over, they must return back today. IGP, Chief of Army Staff, go there and dislodge those people. Let them return back to their homes and to their farms. Will that not make an impact? Please tell me.
The headline. Let's not lose sight of the headline. What they are saying is projection. That if security is fought, insecurity is fought to a standstill, it will bring further food abundance in future. Is that not what the headline says?
That is what they are saying. Why do you make such projection when you have not even started? That's the question. You know you have not done it. So why are you trying to tell things that are not there? I'm telling you how to start about it. That's what I'm saying. How do you start to make this future abundance? That's the question. How? Is it by talking? Is it by talking? You have not done the needful and you're expecting miracle. How can that happen? Is it not by faith that miracle happen? You must have faith that this one is going to heal you.
Barrister, it's not just faith. Faith with good work. Faith with work.
Yes, so you have to
because
work.
Faith without work is useless.
That's why I told you that, yes,
tells
before
us.
I can listen to something, the people must go back. Who produce this food? The food basket of Nigeria. Are they retaining that position by now? The Benue people, are they still retaining that position as we speak now? The answer is no. So where will the future food come from? There's no way now. Even this appointment, that is the mandate I would have given them. The first assignment, go and dislodge these people because they are not from Nigeria. I cannot be sharing space with these terrorists. I cannot. Tell them. That's the one I know that you're serious about this thing now. That is it. Why have you not done that up till now? Tell your IGP and the chief of, go and destroy the first thing, because at least we know where they are. Not this one that are inside the bush roaming all over the place. If you say it is not proper, you might kill innocent civilians. Fine. These ones now, they are taking over a village. They are there. They are there. So to dislodge them, you don't need any collateral damage. You don't need to carry it. So go and tell them to move away from there. Let the people return to their village. Because they are not from Nigeria. If you cannot do it, then don't blame us. If we criticize you, don't blame us.
All right, then. A few more headlines from the Daily Independent, and then we'll get into another paper. FG taking actions capable of disintegrating Nigeria. Bode George. Dictatorship impossible in Nigeria due to press vigilance, says Shetima. PDP issues certificate of expulsion to Wike, Fayose, and others. Adebayo, Adedamola wins Osun PDP Guber primary. Those are the headlines, gentlemen.
This expulsion of Wike. And I'm just thinking, what if, because you understand that the Wike faction had also expelled the other people. So if that faction now, with their own official, you know,
issue another letter.
Issue their own letter.
Let's come to an agreement.
Because when
is it possible for us to come to
even Wike group?
I know where you're going. Who is the official?
Yes.
The authentic.
Wike group want to organize their own convention in the southeast.
Barrister. Let's have an understanding and let's see if we can come to an agreement. Which of the factions is the authentic one?
None.
Ituraki.
As of today, none. No, seriously, none, though. Because the convention you carried out was not authenticated by INEC. And it's already a subject of litigation in court. So how can it stand?
So does it look like, what it means is that at the moment PDP is
It's headless.
It's headless.
No leadership.
So that means there is no PDP.
I said, as I'm talking to you now, Wike and his group, they are organizing their own convention in the southeast.
No. There is southeast congresses.
The Southeast Congress is who is midwifing it?
No,
Iron one, the rest.
When I said it here that this deadline will not end of the 2027 election.
That's the issue.
And that is the game plan.
And it's likely that INEC may recognize that one. It's likely.
They won't recognize anyone until after that election.
Likely.
Because it's a wired landmine.
There was a statement from INEC that time about I can't on top of my head I can't recall, but it's neither here nor there because the Turaki faction. Now, but which faction is occupying the Wadata Plaza?
Nobody now, they don't lock up now.
Nobody is locked down.
No, but they also, apart from Wadata Plaza, there is the Legacy House, which also belongs, it's a PDP property. So anytime, like when we locked the Wadata Plaza because they didn't pay the line rent, they moved over to Legacy House.
The
Legacy House, Barrister, excuse me, the Legacy House is even bigger, better than the Wadata Plaza. I think Wadata they are on rent or what, I can't recall. But the Legacy House belongs to PDP. And that is where they move. So who is in charge of that Legacy Plaza?
You are in a house does not make you the owner.
But there is what is called ownership by possession in law.
No, that is that to the extent that the law allows it.
Okay.
It doesn't make you the owner. That's the truth. So where they are sitting or where they are staying, does not validate.
If I live in a rented apartment and you come to the place and I say this is my house,
does not validate what you have done there. The important thing is whatever action you carry out in that place where you are, does it meet legal interrogation? Is it validated by law? Is it authorized? Is it valid? These are the issues. So wherever you are staying, it doesn't matter. You can sit down there.
If you want to follow the letters of the law, I'm sure nobody will open a bottle of water and drink, because if you have to interrogate it legally, you doesn't have the legal imprimatur and all of that.
It doesn't.
The point
it will still be subject to interpretation by two different lawyers.
Yeah. So then now, I like the question that Moses asked. Who is acting on behalf of the PDP now?
Nobody.
Nobody.
And that is what they wanted to achieve ab initio. Because when we can say, do this, before we can now come to your convention or whatever, they didn't do all those things. And they are valid in law. Because for you to do your convention at the national level, there are precedents to that. You don't just wake up and carry out a convention where out of 36 states, only 17 came. Only 17 came.
No, but they made the quorum, 2/3.
It's not enough. Okay. The other.
No, they said they made the quorum. I think more than 17 came.
More than 17 now?
Yes. More than
it's not the quorum. Okay, this other one that didn't come, so they don't have any.
It's like when you hold a meeting.
They don't have a stake.
When you hold a meeting and you say, if you are 80 and you say quorum is 2/3, and you meet that quorum, other people that didn't come.
Did you listen to the reason why the other one did not come? Did you listen to their reason?
Is it material?
It is very, very valid in law. Please.
No, I'm talking about having to, if that is the reason, if that is the only reason, the convention was not legal. I think if you're talking about quorum, they made the quorum.
But they didn't say, no. When it comes to such convention, it's not about quorum. It's about following due process.
What is due process? The forum is part of the due process now. For the convention to hold, a certain number of states must attend, and those numbers attended. So on that point, the scale's true. I'm talking about the convention.
So hold on, you are not getting it. Did you bring the local government and the states?
Barrister, you are the one not getting it. If you want to judge the convention on the fact that, based on the fact that the number of states that attended, I'm telling you that the Ibadan Convention, Sheyi Makinde and co said, look, we had quorum because a certain number required by law to form a quorum attended.
Did that number that came for the national convention, did they do what they're supposed to do in their states before they came to the national?
No, that is not. That's not the part. That's not part of the condition.
In most of the states, there was no upset. The problem is at the national level. Because whoever is coming from the states is duly qualified to be a delegate.
And then if the state you are representing did not conduct their own...
that is what Dele is saying. For the state to have come means that they came with the
bona fide
delegates.
Delegates.
So those that didn't conduct didn't come.
The truth about it is, if we begin to analyze it tomorrow, PDP is in tatters.
Is in disarray. Is that not what you said?
Nobody knows what will be the end of their fight.
No, we already know. There's no need there. We already know. Because what happened in Rivers in 2019 is going to happen to PDP. They may not take part in this election. Simple. It happened in 2019 in Rivers State, where they did not take part in that election.
I think a similar thing happened in places.
So it's going to happen. And you can, even if PDP want to argue, they'll give the reference to River State and the Plateau State. Is that not true?
Now your people now, not the lawyers.
Let's play into the hands of their enemies.
Let's see if we can move away from politics and talk some other issues. The political space is heated up at this point. Yes. There's this headline here from Nigerian Tribune, says beer belly linked to heart damage in men. It's according to a study. Beer belly.
Beer.
No, yes, beer belly. In fact, your tummy gets bigger.
So everybody must look for beer consumption now.
Yeah.
It's
not everybody.
It's not everybody.
But it's not
everybody.
I pity you. This story is affecting you.
In what way?
Do this your pot belly.
It's not everybody.
You have beer belly now.
No, do I have pot belly? You can imagine this my enemy. He said, did I drink beer? Have you seen me in beer parlor before?
Well, the fact here is that it is linked to heart damage.
Yes, it's obvious. Yes, because you're.
See, I don't want you to die. Start going to gym.
It's giving the heart too much weight to carry.
And the fact that a lot of these drinks produced in Nigeria are adulterated, that in itself is a problem.
This was what? The drinks?
The drinks, yes.
Now what I said I want to took this in outside Nigeria, and I asked myself, is it the actual drink? You know?
No, but barrister, that is not the adulteration, because they have different standards. We are talking about, let's say the standard we have here in a brewery has their standard, and they cook up all those components, and all of that, and they push it out.
No. It's the regulator. Listen, it's the regulator.
The regulator aspect.
The regulator had to tell you this is the standard here.
But barrister, that's what I said. Would they have the same standard in the brewery? Now they push out what they have. Adulteration is when we see other people, unauthorized persons, go by the roadside, by the slums and all of that to cook up things and bring them. And you know one funny thing, they work hand in groups with some of
workers in those breweries.
In those breweries.
Absolutely.
They do.
We'll give them some tips on what.
I took a certain bottle of beer, 2 bottles. Oh my God! I found it difficult to get home. In a space of 2 hours. You think my entire system changed,
collapsed.
I was sweating and all of that. And when we went back to the bottle, we discovered that it wasn't.
And when you get home, the reason for taking the beer,
it wasn't original.
And when
it was adulterated.
Yeah.
And it happens everywhere. And so when you trace, you discover that the distributors, the truckers, what they do is they arrange with them. When they sell some, they'll move and come and add, and now go and give major distributors. Sometimes the major distributors don't even know.
In fact, most of the time,
they mix them up.
They mix them up. They mix them up. You do know that it is as bad as expensive as Glenfiddich is. This highbrow drink, whiskey and all of that. You know that they are fake.
Of course.
Yeah, let me give you a personal experience. You know that ShopRite behind Wadata Plaza in Abuja?
Okay.
I sent my driver to buy Glenfiddich, 18. That was way back in 2019.
Sorry, I mentioned it. Can we not mention it?
Okay, sorry. Okay. So, when they brought this Glenfiddich, without opening it, I knew that it was fake.
Okay, let's leave that conversation now. Because we're giving free adverts to these individuals. Now, let's talk about this headline. This is why we're talking about it. All right. Ordinarily, I would not doubt.
Before we leave, we should advise Mr. Darlington to take care of his stomach, to make it come down.
I was going to ask before you mentioned the brand that scared me away, because I don't have money to pay the accounts department for free adverts. I was going to ask that besides NAFDAC, who else should regulate these things, this adulteration that we see?
It's NAFDAC.
Can they cover everywhere?
Why not?
Doesn't seem like they have
Why
the
not?
ability to.
You see, all they need to do is just to use the regular police to help them investigate.
Yes, send their staff.
You understand?
To this, major beverage.
How did they get to know those who do adulterated drinks, who brew adulterated drinks at the back of their room? How? They have a way of getting information now.
They should go to the market.
You understand?
Sample. Sample it. Yeah, when they go to the market, they take samples of all these things. Go to their lab and check it out. The moment they see...
And the consumption of these things have been linked to deaths of certain individuals. One of them is this actor, Mr. Ibu, popularly known as Mr. Ibu. John Okafor. He was consumption.
Oh, actually, that was already
consumption of it. Yes, led to his.
And if you know the particular company and the particular he should sue. The family should sue.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this issue. We have 5 more minutes on the show. Marital dispute. Edo Assembly summons 2 Baba's wife. I don't know if you're familiar
How is
with
it their business?
the issue.
From that one, they are supposed to legislate.
Now, the Edo State House of
let's get
Assembly
into this.
on Tuesday summoned the member representing Ego constituency, Natasha Irobosa, to appear before its Ethics and Privileges Committee within 1 week. The Assembly said she was invited to defend herself over allegations of misconduct leveled against her. Yeah, the misconduct we saw her shouting at a shouting in a supermarket in the UK, which led to the arrest of the musician Tubaba, by authorities.
Who was she shouting at?
The husband.
She was the husband.
So why is it their business?
No, that place you don't do violence. You don't do violence over there.
You don't.
You don't do violence. Yes,
that's bringing embarrassment to the assembly.
Of course. You are not supposed to shout.
Don't you think that's bringing embarrassment to the assembly?
Yeah, of course.
I think if it's on this point, I think it is in order that someone has to come and offer explanation. Because she put the house in disrepute and all of that. Because of course, the UK media will understand that she is a legislator.
Of course,
and it's going to be in their dailies. Nigerian legislator embarrasses. Nigerian legislator gets into a fight and all of that. So it's good that they invite her. Let her come and offer explanation.
But what does that tell you? That this love was just infatuation.
That's their business.
There was no love.
That's their business.
The mother was shouting that this woman should leave her son alone. Nobody paid attention. Or you think the other lady, what's her name?
Love is blind.
No, these days, love is no longer blind. Though.
Love is blind.
It has to be wide open so that you don't fall into a pit. Two-Face is Dibia. He never do you. How many women now?
Barrister.
Leave this thing for some people now.
He's married to one. He's not married to many.
But 7 of them had children for him.
He's married to one. Yes.
Anyway, since the trouser cannot zip up, let him continue. One day we'll marry my boy and they will sort it out.
Are you going to introduce him to?
No, you will see one. You will see one. Since he doesn't want to hear. You see one and they will sort it out under the sea. And they will take him there and sort it out.
All right then. Well, this would be a good place to have a conversation. Thank you very much, Billy Fanimo, for coming. Thank you very much, Barrister Darlington Agumo. Chukwumokoro, thank you as well for your contribution. And he makes you make a return tonight at 6 p.m.
Yes, at
Political Lens.
And I'll return here with Dele Fanimo, and we are going to travel around Nigeria to bring you hot political stories. Join us then. It promises to be quite interesting.
All right then. Yes, it does. Promises to be interesting. In the meantime, stick around. In the next few minutes will be time for sports on VOP TV. I'm Moses Humphrey. I wish you a beautiful day. Bye for now.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.